Hi, my name is Crystal, and I started Phenix Life Coaching, which is a peer support initiated business that helps those who have mental health challenges resulting from childhood trauma. I'm here today to introduce myself and explain what makes me knowledgeable and able to help others when it comes to mental health and trauma. I want to start by letting you know that self-care is very important, and what I'll be sharing next could be triggering for some. If it will be, I ask that maybe now is not the time you watch this, or that you don't watch it alone. Another option is fast forwarding it to after I speak about my trauma and start focusing on my education. I will put the time below when it would be safe to click and start watching again. So, I was adopted at a very young age, along with my half-brother, by a set of parents, mom and dad, who ultimately should never have had children. They were physically, psychologically abusive as well as neglectful. I lived in terror almost all of the time. From the ages of 8 until about 13, my brother, the half-brother that was adopted with me, also sexually abused me. To add to all of that, I was also bullied in school. Needless to say, by the age of 14, I had pretty serious mental health issues starting to show. This was also the time that I had my first unsuccessful attempt at suicide. Over the years, I spent a lot of time in the revolving door of our mental health hospital system. I finally went into a program in Kingston for people who had similar issues to mine and went through that program 3 times, 4 months each. This is when I stopped going through that revolving door. Stayed out of a hospital more than going in, and I stopped my self-injurious behaviors. Well, for the most part. As I tend to say, recovery is not a straight line. There's a lot of peaks and valleys along the way. It wasn't like I never had issues again or never self-injured again, but there was a lot more peaks than there were valleys, let's just say. So when I was 23, my best friend completed suicide. This was the beginning of the end for me. I ended up getting pregnant within a year of her passing and having a beautiful baby. This baby took a lot of my time, effort, and determination. I was very focused on treating her the opposite of how my parents treated me. And she'll be 20 this coming year, and so far so good. She's awesome. A lot of things have happened along the way, which we will touch on in future videos. This is just a very basic get to know me. In 2010, I had a friend who suggested that I go to school. I'd been out of school for a while by then, and I didn't think I could do it. But she made some pretty good arguments and had some convincing points that I just couldn't argue with. So I enrolled, and with the help of a friend who helped pay for it, I went to school to become a personal support worker. Turned out that it was something that I loved. I loved helping people. I was good at it. It came really natural to me to be the gentle, compassionate, and respectful person. I connected with my clients well and easily, giving them the absolute best care I could. So after graduating from school with the PSW certificate, I decided that I wanted to try to upgrade and be a nurse. If I could be a PSW, why can't I be a nurse? I had a couple of requirements to fill first. I didn't have all my sciences, so I started working on them. But that Christmas, a private college was giving away free tuition to a needy student. So I'm like, I'm getting that. So I applied for it. I didn't even think for a moment that I wasn't going to get it. I just went in, determined, was like, I'm getting that. That is mine. And I got it. So I took the community service worker diploma program. and I graduated that with a 92% average. I love my placement working with the single parents at Better Beginnings for Kingston children. But after graduating, I realized that private college diplomas are not really respected. There's only a 52% higher rate, and that's really low for me. So, and I decided that since I was able to get a 92% in the private college, I could pass normal, regular, everyday college. So I applied to Durham College. Still thinking that I was going to do the nursing. So I went in to go do the upgrading, the pre-nursing, pre-health. But then I heard a rumor that you needed to get a 97 in order to get into the nursing program, which made me panic because I have anxiety, part of my mental health issues with trauma that pretty much goes hand in hand. So I switched over to the classes to psychology and sociology and all of that to get into the social service worker program, which was essentially the same as the community service program, but from a respectable college. So I graduated both the general arts and science with psychology and all that, and the social service worker diploma with honors. Smarter than I look. No, I'm just kidding. But smarter than I thought I was. I learned a lot, and I loved helping people. I loved my placements. I worked also while going to school, which for me is a huge accomplishment because I had no self-esteem for years and years and years. As a trauma survivor, you have no self-esteem, no self-confidence. But I did that while going to school. And I loved working while completing the program. I was very thankful for the opportunity to the agency, DHS, for being able to respect my schedule and my needs. If I needed to take time off or, I had a class or I had too much schoolwork to do, they were so supportive of me. Whatever I needed, DHS was there to support me. Sadly, they ended up closing a couple years ago, so I can't work there anymore. So after that, I ended up getting a contract at a homeless shelter in downtown Toronto. I loved it there. It was a women's drop-in shelter. I learned a lot while I was there. One thing I learned, though, was that shelter work is very different from PSW work. As a PSW, I'm there to put my clients first. And I do. I put my clients first. That's one of the things that my staff at the DHS were really proud of me for, was that I made sure that my clients had their needs met and that I took care of them really, really well. But as a shelter worker, things are a little different. As a shelter worker, I was taught that I was expected to put my agency first. I didn't like that. So this is one of the reasons that I decided to open my own life coaching business, so that I can help people and not worry about the politics. So I went back to school after the contract ended at the shelter and took the Addictions and Mental Health graduate certificate, again at Durham. I had a hard time. It's not an easy course, especially because of the nature of the subject matter and with my mental health issues and the trauma that I've experienced, especially since I have a class on trauma. It was really hard to go through, but I'm super proud of myself because I got through it, and again, I got honors. How did I not? It's all the stuff that I know so well, and it's so dear to my heart. But I had a hard time. The agency that I had my placement at, the agency wanted me, I guess, but the staff didn't, and they made it very clear. As of my first day, they're like, we don't want you here. So when you're not wanted there, it makes for a stressful environment. And when you already have anxiety issues and issues with people not wanting you there, not liking you, and self-esteem issues and self-worth issues, that's a hard blow. So I had to find a way to work around all of that. I thought I did, but I don't know. By the end, it felt pretty good. but it's a process to try to work through all of that and get to the point where they understand your worth and your value and they respect you for it. Anyways, I truly feel that I went through everything that I did for a reason, and I know a lot of people in my circumstances feel that. And I want to use what I've been through to help others. I never thought that I was going to get better. I never thought I was going to see 20 years of age. I was very depressed, very suicidal. So I feel that if I can get better, that other people, there's hope for them that they can get better. And we should celebrate even the smallest baby steps that we take. So just to kind of wrap things up, because I'm not sure yet all the rules about all of this and how long my videos are allowed to be. I just want to let you know that every Monday by 6 p.m. I will upload a new video to the Phenix Life Coaching channel. I know that it's really hard, especially here in Canada. Counselors are far and few between, or the focus, especially from what we've learned in school, is solution focus and very short-term counseling. And when you have trauma in your life, it's going to take you weeks, if not months, to get to trust somebody enough to really work through and process what you've been through and how to come out that other side. So that's not going to work, and they haven't figured this out yet. So I just want to kind of connect with you guys, let you guys have somebody to watch and connect with on a regular basis in hopes that it'll help you get through some of those rough times. We're going to talk about I have a mindfulness exercise that I want to do. I want to talk about my process and my journey, because it's been difficult, but as I said, I'm coming out the other side. I've done really well. A lot of people who know me and know my story are like, wow, I can't believe what you've been through. Some people have said, straight out, you should be dead with everything you've been through. And, they're right. Most people wouldn't live through what I've been through and still be able to get up every morning and talk about it. And I'm proud of myself for being able to do that. And I want you guys to be proud of yourselves for just every little step that you take, because you are worth it and you have purpose. And what happened to you was not your fault. Especially being children, we take on everything and everything feels like our fault, because I don't know, kind of the world revolves around us, but it's not. And it's stuff that we'll get into at another time. But if you have comments or questions or things that you want me to focus on, then I'm up for that. It's this channel is going to be for mental well-being. We'll focus on the trauma mostly and things like borderline, because I think there's a really strong correlation between borderline personality disorder and trauma, and I think they're finally starting to realize that. It's funny, back when I got diagnosed with borderline when I was 14, I'm like, yeah, that's just what they call you when they don't know what's wrong with you, and you've been through what I've been through, and they can't figure it out because you're all messed up because of what your parents did to you. And I was 14 and was thinking like that, and they're just finally catching up to me now. So, yeah, so, so if I seem like someone that you might want to get to know better, hit the subscribe button below, and the bell button will let you know when I've uploaded new content. So be kind and respect yourself, and take care.